Just recently, in the heart of Mason, Ohio, the home of one of the oldest tennis tournaments in the world underwent a transformation. And I'm deliberately not calling it a renovation, because once you see what happened here, I doubt you'll recognize it at all. With a colossal display network packing more than 44 million pixels, a stunning new sunken stadium built below ground level, and a massive 56,000 square foot players complex, Cincinnati's new tennis campus is setting a brand new standard for the United States. And as expectations rise, so do the questions. Will reality truly live up to the enormous promises? And how did a project of this scale even come together in less than a year? It's time to dive into North America's newest gem, one that's shaping up to be a clean ace. For more than a century, the Cincinnati Open has held a unique place in professional tennis. Founded in 1899, it is the oldest tournament in the United States still played in its original city. For the past several decades, it has been hosted at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, a venue known for its intimate atmosphere and loyal crowds. Its position on the calendar, just 2 weeks before the US Open, has long made it a crucial stop for players preparing for the final Grand Slam of the year. This reputation gave the event historical weight, but it did not protect it from the realities of a rapidly evolving sports landscape. By the early 2020s, the global tennis circuit was shifting fast. The Lindner Family Tennis Center, despite its charm, was built for a different era. The core issue was straightforward. The campus could no longer match the standards of top-tier Masters 1000 events. Its primary stadiums remained iconic, but the surrounding areas lacked the capacity, flexibility, and modern amenities that global tournaments were rapidly adopting. With the singles fields expanding from 56 to 96 players, the existing footprint simply couldn't support the additional match courts, practice time, and support staff that a larger draw demands. This realization pushed the tournament toward a true reimagining of its future. Incremental upgrades would not be enough. The entire campus needed to be transformed into a cohesive, modern, and highly functional environment capable of serving the tournament for decades. To guide this vision, the tournament partnered with Gensler, one of the world's leading architecture and design firms with deep experience in sports and entertainment projects. Their concept centered on tennis in a park, an open, walkable landscape where shade structures, plazas, green spaces, and practice courts work together to create a festival-like experience without losing the event's familiar charm. General contracting and on-site construction management were overseen by Barton Malo, and specialist facade and engineering work for key elements was provided by Zahner. With the vision set, all that remained was turning it into reality on a deadline that simply couldn't move. The next tournament was already scheduled, tickets were already sold, and top players were counting on the venue being ready. Missing the date wasn't an option, and what happened next pushed construction to its limits. Construction on the new Cincinnati Open campus began almost the moment the 2024 finals ended. As soon as the final trophy was lifted, crews moved in, tearing up old asphalt, clearing walkways, and opening the ground for new utilities. From that day forward, the deadline never budged. Everything had to be ready before the 2025 tournament returned. In total, the transformation unfolded in about 328 days, an incredibly tight window. The most dramatic shift came from the size of the site itself. The Lindner Family Tennis Center expanded from roughly 20 acres to more than 40, doubling its footprint and giving designers the freedom to reimagine a modern tournament campus from the ground up. Achieving that expansion meant regrading huge sections of land, installing new drainage systems, relocating utilities, and completely reorganizing how fans and players would move across the property. Nearly every path, corridor, and service route had to be rebuilt. Across this massive new footprint sit 31 outdoor courts, each resurfaced, realigned, and spaced to improve both professional training and spectator flow. A brand new building houses 6 indoor hard courts, engineered for year-round use with acoustic controls, insulated wall assemblies, and professional-grade lighting that stays consistent regardless of weather. Together, these additions transform the venue into one of the largest practice ecosystems in any Masters 1000 event. At the center of the transformation is Champions Court, a new 2,300-seat sunken stadium carved directly into the ground. By lowering the playing surface, engineers created a bowl that shields players from wind and brings fans much closer to the match. Terraced berms frame the court in a way that feels both modern and intimate, while the revamped seating uses molded, weather-resistant materials with better legroom and steeper rakes to improve visibility. Safety rails, accessible seating zones, and updated vomitories were rebuilt to today's standards, giving the stadium a clean, contemporary feel. Technology received an equally significant upgrade. Large-format outdoor LED video boards now appear throughout the campus, designed to remain visible in direct sun. In total, more than 100 LED displays were installed across the grounds, covering over 9,000 square feet and delivering more than 44 million pixels of resolution, a massive visual system powered by SMT's broadcast-grade technology. One of the largest boards is in the fan pavilion and spans roughly 28 feet, about as wide as a 3-car garage, giving spectators a clear view of live matches from anywhere in the plaza. Courts designated for TV coverage gained dedicated camera platforms, improved cable routing, commentary spaces, and production infrastructure meeting ATP and WTA standards. Even the sound was rebuilt. A distributed audio system now delivers consistent coverage across plazas, walkways, and fan zones, without the uneven pockets of volume that once plagued the venue. One of the largest structural additions is the new 56,000 square foot player clubhouse, a 2-story complex built to meet the demands of modern professional tennis. Inside, players now have expanded locker rooms for both tours, an athletic training suite, dedicated recovery and massage rooms, and a fully equipped fitness center. Player dining and lounge areas overlook the practice courts through large glass openings that fill the building with natural light. The structure itself uses a steel and concrete frame, performance flooring, acoustic wall treatments, and zoned climate control systems designed to keep conditions stable during long competition days. Fans also gained an entirely new hub, a 16,000 square foot shaded pavilion positioned as the heart of the campus. Its wide-span steel canopy provides relief from the sun while housing integrated lighting, misting systems, and large broadcast screens. Below that shade, open seating blends with sponsor zones, concessions, and retail kiosks. Adjacent to the pavilion sits a landscape viewing lawn, an outdoor amphitheater designed so fans can watch matches on oversized LED boards with picnic-style comfort. These screens, like the rest of the AV system, are daylight-rated, high-brightness displays engineered to perform in the open air. The expansion also introduced new premium hospitality areas and upgraded fan zones, designed to elevate both the VIP experience and family-friendly activities across the campus. But the transformation didn't stop with tennis. The campus now includes 6 pickleball courts and 2 padel courts, reflecting the explosive growth of these racket sports. Built with proper fencing, surface specifications, and lighting, these areas position the venue as a year-round multi-sport destination rather than a 2-week tournament site. Behind the scenes, the operational systems were rebuilt just as aggressively. Electrical distribution was expanded, drainage systems were upgraded, and a new fiber optic backbone now supports high-bandwidth broadcasting, analytics, and tournament operations. Even the signage was redesigned, with a unified wayfinding system and digital displays guiding fans through the expanded layout. Pulling all of this off in less than a year required near-constant coordination. Multiple construction teams worked simultaneously across different zones. Prefabricated stadium components helped accelerate installation. Winter work demanded temporary enclosures, heated curing methods for concrete, and weather-resistant materials to stay on schedule. While one area of the site was being landscaped, another was receiving AV testing, and another was being poured, welded, or wired. By the end of the 328th day, the transformation was complete. A campus once defined by its limitations now opened as one of the most comprehensive tennis facilities in North America, rebuilt, expanded, and fully prepared to launch the Cincinnati Open into a new era. But with the build finally complete, another question emerged. What did it actually take behind the scenes to make this transformation possible? When the transformation was first announced, many people assumed a project of this scale would take years. Instead, it arrived in a single off-season, and it happened because the tournament's future was on the line. After BMOC Capital purchased the Cincinnati Open, several cities attempted to lure the event away, most notably Charlotte, which proposed a brand new complex. That pressure accelerated everything. To keep the tournament in Ohio, local and state officials assembled a public contribution package, while BMOC contributed the majority share of the $260 million expansion. The public side included infrastructure support, site improvements, and long-term event commitments from the city of Mason, Warren County, and the state of Ohio. BMOC financed the rest through private investment, incorporating long-term campus planning, hospitality expansion, and year-round facility revenue into its financial model. Combined, the arrangement secured a 25-year commitment to remain in Mason, ensuring the longest-running professional tennis tournament in the U.S. stayed where it began. Once the new campus opened, early reactions suggested the gamble paid off. Players immediately noticed the difference: larger locker rooms, expanded recovery areas, and access to private courts that were previously impossible to schedule. Fans responded just as strongly. Shade structures reduced the summer heat, circulation improved across the widened walkways, and the new food court and viewing lawn created gathering spaces the old campus simply never had. Even the stadium acoustics and sightlines felt sharper, helped by the new bowl design of Champions Court and the upgraded audio-video systems. The transformation also carries significant economic weight. Regional analyses estimate that the expanded event now contributes more than $150 million annually through tourism, lodging, transportation, local spending, and year-round programming. Because the new indoor and outdoor facilities operate outside the tournament window, the complex is expected to generate additional revenue through training programs, community events, rentals, and partnerships, helping to stabilize long-term financial returns for both the tournament and the region. In the end, what rose in Mason is more than a renovation. It's a strategic reset, a statement that one of tennis's oldest tournaments intends not just to survive the modern era, but to define what the next generation of tennis venues can become. But as the global tennis calendar grows more competitive, the real test lies ahead. Can this new super campus anchor Cincinnati as a permanent tennis capital, or will the international race for prestige push the sport into yet another era of reinvention? Ready to be amazed by the next groundbreaking construction project? Click on the video now and dive into a world where engineering and imagination collide. See you there.